good morning,
Good day.
good afternoon, good evening. My name is Grant Lamontang from multitool.org, and you are watching or listening to EDC TV. On tonight's episode, we have, as usual, with us Abe Elias of Diving Sparrow Knife Works and my good friend Rabbi Inkman, also known as Inky or Chris, who is an online knife trader extraordinaire. Tonight we're going to be talking about the knives that we wanted and never got, or the knives that we wanted for the longest time and finally did manage to get. How are you guys doing tonight? Inky, how you been?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm not doing too bad. Did you get anything new or exciting this week?
No, I've been actually selling stuff the past week or two.
No.
You get anything? I feel like I got something.
Okay, well, think about it and we'll come back to you.
Yes,
Abe, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
That's good. Did you get anything new or exciting this week?
I got a hold of, you had talked about the dime, which now I had to spend money on that. It's your fault. But they were out. So apparently, like I mentioned before, the part of me that has a memory as I was walking out of the store remembered to get a rain check. So now I have one at that great price. Except for the part of me that doesn't have a memory forgot that I got the rain check. And I found out accidentally today while looking through my wallet for a bill to hand to one of my customers, a receipt. So, but now I have it. It's all, life is good. It's all copacetic. I brought it home. It's mine now. So, yeah. The only problem I ever have with this that always makes me go back to my Swiss Army Mini Champ knife is the scissors. Like this, and I've said it before on our podcast, it's damn hard to beat, and I use that in place of a nail clipper. So now when I go and get that nail clipper that Grant just showed, stick it up there again, Grant. Bastard.
I'm getting in trouble for making you buy
Hey, he likes
something
it up
else.
there.
So when I
Leave
go
it up there. He likes it up there, Grant.
Yeah, when I get that, I'm gonna maybe not need the scissors, and then this one will have the import thing because we're Canadian, the bottle opener.
Yes, definitely going to have a bottle opener.
So I didn't notice. I just noticed this before. It has a pair of tweezers.
Yeah,
That's French. That's for
sliding into the handle.
Yeah, sliding in the handle. That's for those people that don't multilingual that are watching. Tweezers is the French pronunciation for somebody who doesn't know how to speak French and wants to say the word tweezer.
You would think they would have put a tweezer in the Leatherman micro handle. Or the Leatherman, what's it called? The other one.
The squirt?
Yes, the squirt. They should have did that. It's actually built into the micro, right? I like having tweezers.
I like it. I like it too. Actually, because I do the handyman work and I'm clumsy, I carry tweezers in the truck at all times. That's
That's one
of the topics though that I think we should probably end up covering in the future is it's not handyman work, but the fact that you have to, if you're going to EDC, you should build a skill set so you can actually use the shit. It's one thing to carry something around on you, and there's another thing not to have a clue on how to use it. And that's always been something I've talked to people about. It was like, if you want to get the most out of the money you've spent on all the various really cool gadgets, maybe you should learn how to fix stuff.
Learn how to use them.
Yeah, learn how to fix crap. I'm not trying to be an ass about it, but that's part of we were going to do. One of these days we'll do the psychology of EDC, and part of it isn't just the psychology. Isn't just because it's better if. And the way and I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but I think it's better if you're carrying EDC and you know how to use it, rather than just, okay, I feel better because I'm carrying it, but I haven't got a clue on little hacks on how to fix stuff.
Yeah, I've got all these tools and all my shit's still broken because I don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
But boy, do they look good on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's fun yesterday, fixing something last night. Actually, about 3 in the morning. I woke up and I actually said, I wasn't that tired. I got up and finished what I was repairing.
Yeah.
I think I'm turning into Abe. It was a knockout, Kershaw knockout.
Okay.
There was nothing wrong with it, but when it was open, it tinked. Ting-a-ling. Because you got to have grease around the whole spring. There's a channel in there for grease.
Yeah.
There's a cover over it. So I happened to pick up grease by my friend's house. Not happened to. I did it for that. And I had it all apart. Man, I put it in there. It worked perfectly. The hardest part was recentering the blade and the handle screws and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It worked out beautiful, though.
And that part of it, too, is you've got EDC that fits your life. That's why I bring up my job so much, is because my EDC has to fit that life.
Of course, yeah.
And my buddy who was in IT at Chrysler, they got all those guys Leatherman tools, and they got them for free because they purchased them through the department, Leatherman Waves. And those guys carried them for all of 1 week just to make it look good, and then packed them at home for themselves to keep because their job did not require that much of a tool. They could get away with like little pen screwdriver and stuff like that because they didn't really do anything but attach wires. So anyways, sorry, back to the white whales.
Yeah, Abe, I think when we started discussing this idea, you had a few knives that were at one point white whales or holy grails for you, but now you own them. So why don't you take a minute and tell us about them?
Okay, well, just really quick though. So there are some that I still have, but I'm not they're more like just to round off the collection. So I mentioned earlier, and it's not in front of me, it's gone somewhere. Well, here it is, my Pro Light. My Pro Light, really, it took me a while to get this, so it was a white whale at one point in time. But just for the heck of saying I've got both of them, there is a nice serrated version with the cold steel micro serrations on it, and I have not been able to corner that one anywhere. So that's still eluding me, but I'm happy that I still have this because it's a really good carry. When I was about 16 or 17, I used to go to a gun and knife show in the States, and it was at the Light Guard Armory. So everybody thought I was crazy back then. I spent the whopping price of a $40 purchase on a Marauder 2 for a Blackjack Marauder 2. I love that knife. I had a custom Kydex. When Kydex came out, I had a custom Kydex made for it. Great knife. And for years, I was aware of the fact that there was a Marauder 1, and then there was a corresponding folder. I don't have the Marauder 1 to show you. It's the bigger version of the same knife. But I managed to corner the Mamba. Now, why they called this the Mamba and not the Marauder 3 or whatever, I don't know. But it's basically the folding knife that's meant to go with the Marauder. So I had a bunch that I showed everybody. This is a white whale, but it's more of a holy grail. So this is the titanium knife that A.G. Russell made to compete with the Chris Reeves Zabenza.
Right.
A lot of people, when I tell them the story, when I first told them the story, the guys on knife forums basically called me a liar. And then somebody had to post a picture in a forum to show them that I wasn't lying. And so what this was I was at Blade Show. I had formed kind of a friendship with A.G. Russell because he would review my custom-made knives and tell me what I did wrong with them and tell me what I had to do to fix them. And I would bring some knives back the next year to show him that I had accomplished the task that he gave me. So I walked up to him and we were talking, and he says, "Oh, here, I want to show you something." And he showed me this knife. He pulled it out of his own pocket, and it was an initial knife, an initial one that they were using for him to carry and test and see whether or not he liked what they had done with the design to rival the Zabenza. And he looked at me and he said, he closed it up. He looked at me and goes, "Here, Abe, why don't you take mine? I want you to have this one and get back to me and let me know what you think of it." This will never leave my side. The only time it'll leave my side is when I go into a retirement home and they don't let me carry it, because this was actually carried by A.G. Russell.
Nice. Yeah, you never ever want to take a chance on misplacing that one.
No.
What about you there, Inky? Any knives that have eluded you or that you spent a long time chasing? Anything you saw in your dreams that you needed to have?
One thing I always wanted to get was, maybe a Confederate or William Thorpe bow from Randall. I never ordered it. I never bought one. I have other Randalls, but that's one I could get, but I don't want that. There's a very long wait for it to get at a fair price, I think like 5 years now, maybe more.
Which one? I'm sorry, I lost you there. Which one was it? You're
like either a Raymond Thorpe or a Confederate Bowie. Randall.
Oh,
big
yeah.
Ones. Yeah. The real big ones. Something pretty simple, but a little bit with my taste in it, which is maybe instead of a sheath, a pair of bloomers or something. But there's one knife I had that I probably would be my favorite knife if I could get it. If I didn't sell it, I can't afford to buy it back now. It would be the Dozier. I think it's called Quesada or Quesada. It was his fighting knife. It's like a big, giant spear point, There's just something about it. I guess that would be it really for now. Everything else I try to get, and if I can't really afford it, I'll sell stuff, build up the money to buy that knife. So but I've been pretty lucky, fortunate, and I just don't spend lots and lots of money on knives anymore. Honestly, since, the stuff's coming from China and Taiwan is so much better now. So, but there was one I wanted, I finally got. It was a Taylor Japan. It was like the cold steel tanto.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't get the mini one. I got the big one. It's a bone handle though, and it's the same thing. It's a longer blade. I forget how long. And it has I think it has dragons etched on it.
Cool.
That I always wanted. I got that one recently. That was the last old knife that I purchased. And I got that kind of new in the box. I don't know where everybody was sleeping. I got it for like $100. Everybody was sleeping on eBay. It was nice. I can't really think of much else that I want right now. I want a lot of stuff, but, not that many white whales anymore. Maybe like a shark or a marlin, Sometimes a sea turtle. I really like the manatees. I like a stingray. Bluefish doesn't taste good. I don't know. I guess I could go for crabs.
How do you spell the crissata? How do you spell that Dozier knife?
It's like the sandwich, but the crissata. I don't know. I don't know if it's a crissata or crissata. Let me look real quick.
Yeah.
It's crissata. Crossada. It was him and James Keating.
Sorry.
Remember James Keating?
I was going to say, there's a name we haven't heard in a while.
Remember he made... Yeah, did he design the Chinook for Spyderco? Or was that someone else?
So how do you spell the knife again?
Crissada. Crossada. I feel like I'm in a spelling bee.
Well, look,
Can you use that in a sentence? Can you use that in a sentence?
Yes, I miss my crissata. I'm sorry, James Keating and Bob Dozier.
I will have a crissata and a small coffee with 2 sugars, please.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
I want eggs and cheese. They're about $2,500 right now. Mine was so long ago, I sold it for like $900.
Yeah.
Probably 2007, 2008. I needed the money. It was actually a gift. I was home playing on a reel a lot, and I forgot to work for a year or so.
Here's a classic thing that happened between Inky and I in the early days when we first started hanging out online. Inky, I don't know if you've noticed, he tends to come up with some just sort of random things from time to time. And one day he said to me,
"Oh, me?
What would you do for a Klondike bar?" And I responded, "I'd kill a man and bathe in his blood." What's a Klondike bar? Anyways, getting back to topic, because we have one. For me, I would say that, the knife that I just haven't been able to get my hands on is and I mentioned this in a previous episode, the Cold Steel Magnum Tanto 12, because it's just utterly ludicrous. And, the amount of money that they, that thing is going for is just, I have literally bought cars for less than what that is going for.
And everybody, just so you know, I'm going to interrupt him. I sent him a Black Friday sale deal for more than $200 off on that frickin' thing, and that cheap bastard won't balk after making me spend money all this time. Just saying.
I stand by my earlier statement. Usually when I see it, it's over $500. Abe sent me a link and it was 300 and some. And yes, I have bought cars for less than that.
So my question for you is, since we're now into Cyber Monday, have you gone back to that website, seen if they've even dropped it even more? Because they were clear. I went to the store. They were clearing stuff out like crazy. Just saying, not trying to enable you or anything like that. That's not my type of personality to make you spend money. But
no, that's okay, Abe. I've already bought the next flashlight I'm going to make you buy. I'm just waiting for it to arrive.
Well, I bought one he's going to buy too.
Big sale. They got a big sale at Best Buy on the Olight Pro Clip. It's down to $39.
Lights are old news. Just wait until I introduce you to the Loop Dot.
So, yeah, no, I don't need to spend any more money. Damn it! What I need to do is find more work. I need to find more work or a gold line.
What kind of work do you need?
The kind of work I normally do.
Anyway, so what are the crowning glories of your collections? What special pieces have you got there, Inky? The kind that you would want to show off if somebody was to come over. What exciting things would you be most proud of?
I got a lot of nice stuff, man.
I know, but there's got to be some really special stuff out there.
I got like a Bill Ruppel single-bladed trapper. It's pretty nice.
Cool.
Good choice.
I like Martizelli stuff, or whatever his name was. I got a few of his things. I got the Prowler, like I said the other day, the Razor, and another one, I don't know what it's called. Wendy actually got it made for me years ago. She got on the phone with him and everything.
Really?
That's what she liked me. I don't know, man. I got a lot of stuff. Some days, like, not even like, some days a $20 knife is my favorite knife, you know? Some days it's a Sebenza, some days it's like a Grail, you know? I love knives.
I ordered one of those Ethan
Have you
Grounds.
mentioned that before?
Thanks to you.
Another one?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
you're
get the
welcome.
one that I originally wanted. They had on super back order, but I got another one. I think I got a better deal on it because I think the knife's more my style. But I can't wait.
Okay.
I can't wait since you spoke so highly of it, dude. I can't wait to get it in my hands and see what it's like.
Well, you got one already, don't you?
No, I don't. I told you I ordered one, and they just kept on saying, "Can't ship it right now. Don't have it. Can't." So I canceled. Got the refund, and I ordered another one. I just can't remember the model off the top of my head.
What was the one you did get? That curvy one, but it was a little bit small. That was a different company, right?
That curvy one. That's a STI. I think it is.
Yeah, Stips, right? Yep.
Yeah,
Stivian
that
or
one.
something like that.
But when you do, of course, when you do the search for the Even Ground, they always throw a couple of those STIs in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's better getting an STI thrown in than an STD. But we'll just go with that. You mentioned buying stuff for your missus. Mine was really hard to buy for, so I discovered the easiest thing to do was listen to her when she told me she broke something of hers, and then I would just replace it. So she dropped her camera when she was kayaking one time in the lake, and I went one step further. I bought her another camera, but I bought her a waterproof camera. So
Good idea.
yeah,
The last knife I got Wendy was a bug out, a pink bug out.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Like we've talked, there's a couple of Randall knives that I would like. Like I like an R1. I've had it in my possession, but only loaned it to me. It was only loaned to me. I mentioned the serrated version of the Pro Light, and as I mentioned as we were going into this, there are some knives that I want. Like I wouldn't say. I would never chase a Sebenza. It's nothing against Sebenzas, but I mean, I would if I got a good deal on one, I'd pick it up. You know what I mean? Like it'd be more an opportunistic kind of thing.
That's the reason why I don't have a lot of the really fantastic knives that I'm interested in. Is for me anyway, and you know, part of a collection is it's not the item itself so much as it's the story. You know.
Stories.
So
The story behind them often is like you said. You're going down. For me, I go down a gun and knife show and I see an old American-made Camillus, double-bladed, two-bladed Hunter, and that's been kind of like a holy grail for me too, because I've never found an old American-made straight. So when I was younger, and I should have grabbed it. I still have the very first Barlow ever bought, and it was like one of the first 5 knives. I can't remember where it was, but there used to be a case in the hardware store, and I'd walk up to the back of the hardware store desk, and there'd be a blue case, and the knife would be standing upright in this little slot with plexiglass, and it would have a number attached to the front of the case that you can see. Say, could I see 5178? And then they'd pull a white box of made traits that I found. I'm having a hard time finding one. I now have a Camillus one, but one time I'm down in Indiana visiting Tony Bose, and it's not just to drop names or anything like that. It's the sentiment behind it. And then what I mean is
Right.
if it had been anybody, he went in when I told him I had been missing that knife and I was stupid. I threw it away when I was younger because the back spring broke on it, and now I know it can be fixed because I'm older. So what happened was I went to his shop. I was a multi-day visit. Went to his shop the next day, and he had pulled out of his own collection a case version, and he gave it to me. It's the sentiment. He didn't have to do that, and it doesn't have to be Tony Bose that did it. If either one of you did it to me, like you gave me that knife, I would cherish that knife forever. Knives that are given to me, given like literally as a gift, not like from like because I was a writer. A lot of companies call me up and they're trying to sometimes send me a knife so I'll write on it. No, but that it's the idea that he knew that I was missing and he didn't have one, but he wanted me to have one. He wanted me to have a two-bladed Hunter. And so it's that kind of sentiment for me behind a gift.
right, exactly. I agree completely.
Oh, I get it now. Like the time I went to Hassam's house and he harpooned me.
Yeah.
Like
You don't
that, right?
don't bring that one up. You do not know the turmoil behind that knife.
I do.
You do?
He told me all
Okay.
about it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You would do. Sorry,
I
you
got
would.
I got him on Facebook the other day. He said something funny. I said, you didn't harpoon it, but it was good. He was hysterical.
I'm feeling like there's a story here. Is
Definitely
this something that's suitable for our listeners or what?
Well,
Nah. I guess that's Abe's choice.
Well, I mean, it was all I can tell you was it was a collaboration. I won't tell you who it was a collaboration with because I don't want to. Everybody knows it was a Awesome Harpoon, but I don't want to mention the other person. And they had promised that collaboration design to be licensed to a particular company. And after they had made the agreement, one of the people in the collaboration, which I will not pinpoint, said, "Look, I can get a better deal if we license it with these people." And the other person was old school and said, "No, I've already agreed that we will license it with these people." And that between Jerry and the other person that helped them design it, that was a falling out, a huge falling out, because one person worried more about the money and the other person worried more about their word. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, Inky, if that was the story behind it.
Yeah, it wasn't, yeah, pretty much.
So a lot of people don't understand, and because we've dealt with the industry, we understand that the whole licensing process it's touch and go at times, because especially if you're not like myself, I was not a really well-known knife maker. I was well-known, but I didn't have when I mean really well-known, I wasn't.
Yeah, you got a phone call.
So I wasn't famous, right? Like Ken Onion or Chizola or something like that, right? And at the time I got my Columbia River Knife licensing agreement, there was a bunch of other people that were way more well known than I was, and they decided to go with me anyways. So that was very reassuring, and everything like that. But when you got that kind of thing going, and if you get a reputation for backing out of licensing deals, nobody wants to start offering them to you. That's all. I'm just saying. I mean, it makes sense. You give somebody your word, you don't follow through with it, then you have problems.
Absolutely, you deserve whatever you get at that point.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what you get in a lot of cases is a lot more money, and that's wrong. You shouldn't be promoting that kind of thing.
So, well, personally myself, I don't want to go off on a tangent here or anything like that, but myself is if somebody's offering you more money for the same thing, sure, you could say life is life and to the victor goes the spoils, but at the same time, you get more money for that one. But then nobody wants to talk to you about a design ever again.
Absolutely.
And your personality gets, not personality, but your character gets, damaged.
And you lose potential business in the future. And so, you're selling out tomorrow for the sake of today. Which, can work for you. It works for a lot of people. Doesn't work for me. But then not a whole hell of a lot works for me. But getting back to topic, what have you got there that's got an interesting story behind it, Inky?
That's my whole thing. Every knife usually involves one of those. No, that last knife I got, like I said, I can't even tell you I don't even know how many knives I have. Usually finding Swiss Army knives I want. Like when I found the scientist, actually, I forgot his name on SOSAC. We actually had a contest and I won it. I won a scientist, and Victorinox actually built me 2 Yeomans.
Oh,
built
really?
It for me. You remember that? They sent them in a plain box. I don't know, I sent them in, they couldn't fix it. I got on the phone with them. I got to know this lady there. I can't remember her name. They wound up actually building me 2. They didn't tell me they did, but I could tell they did.
Nice.
You could tell they were built. They weren't old Yeomans, but it was way after they were discontinued.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm sure I still have one, at least. I think I sold one. Oopsie daisy.
Oh, you'd have made good money off of that. The old 3-layer Yeomans, as you know, were pretty high demand, especially the factory-made ones. We had a lot of problems there with guys cobbling some together and selling them, pretending they were originals.
So was the Yeoman the nautical themed one?
Sort of, but not really. It was this sounds like an excellent plug for sacwiki.com, where you can find.
It was an Explorer without the pliers, pretty much, right? Kind of.
I think my buddy had one in blue, but it was a special run, which was really funny because after he passed away, I kind of wanted it because I knew he carried this on his person the whole entire time. And that's the other thing. A knife where I know a friend of mine has passed away or something like that, I want to remember them by. And so it was a Star David. He had a Star David on his one. I don't know what the story. I can't remember what the story was behind that. But I think he said at one point in time it was a Yeoman.
Well, the Yeoman was a 91 millimeter model with main blade and a combo tool in the same layer. The more common 4-layer Yeoman, which became the Yeoman afterwards, It's the same as Inky said, just the Explorer, which is, instead of the combo tool, it has an extra layer with the can opener and bottle opener.
Oh,
And
maybe
they
not.
put the
So the original 3-layer Yeoman has, it's a
doesn't
scissor
have a small
layer,
blade.
the Phillips screwdriver and magnifying glass, and the main blade and combo tool layer.
The Explorer would have had both screwdrivers, and the
Yeah,
volume was added to it.
I got a question for Inky because I'm curious now because we've mentioned a number of times that he does a lot of online trading and selling. I don't know if you'd remember this or not, but what was the one knife that you wanted that took the most amount of sales to get? Didn't matter about the dollar amount, but can you remember if you had a knife that you had to sell off 2 knives for, 3 knives for, 5, 10?
Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't tell you that, but here was my rule. This is how I wouldn't let myself drown in knives. This is crazy. Grant will remember this when I say it. What I would do was, if I wanted a knife for $400, I would sell $800 worth. I would buy the knife and pay myself back the $400. That's what I started doing. So I would really like. Then next time I wanted to buy something, I'd say, "How bad do you want it? You got to double your money first." You know, that's what I had to do to myself because I was way out there. And then over the past 2 years, I did that again. Like, I got way out there again. You know, you go through these parts in your life, you know, where you're like, let me just start spending a lot of money that I don't have.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep, been there.
it'll always be knives for me.
I wish I had
be
that.
expensive watches, so, you know, trucks, watches, so knives are better.
I wish I had that kind of self-discipline because oftentimes I don't. If I sell a couple of things for $200, I usually, once I hit the $200, if the item I want is $200, or even then, like I just sold my original, not original, but one of my original competition trap shooting guns, and I pretty much already spent exactly what I sold it for. I didn't pay myself anything.
I got advice from Grant once that I still use. He doesn't even notice. I used to say I need this, and I used to tell him how bad I needed it. One day he said, "Look, you need it really bad?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Wait 1 week and see how bad you still need it." And in most cases, I'm able to talk myself down week by week. Like, you know, there is one knife I want right now that's inexpensive, and I wanted it for months now, and I won't buy it. I don't know why I won't buy it.
And it is?
It's
You can't mention it.
$35.
Huh?
Oh, it's called, the name of it's called Dagger. That's the brand. Daggerr. And it's they just make these big giant folders like FRN handles, and the one I want is actually, believe it or not, it's pink. It's got a pink handle and a black blade. So I'm in this phase where I'm making myself sell stuff right now. Like, I just put up like 60 knives. You know, not 60 knives. Yeah, a lot of knives. Like, I put up a bunch of Kershaws, a bunch of Gonzos, and just miscellaneous other stuff. Like, I sold my Knockout. That's why I re-greased it. You know, I sold it and I forgot it tinked. Ting-a-ling-ding. I said, oh, crap. That's why I had to take it apart and re-grease it for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, once I get the heart to say it, or I want to say the balls, but I can't say that, so I won't. When I get the balls to sell something I don't want to sell, I'll immediately throw it in the photo tent, take pictures, and I'll right before or right after, I'll mock up the auction already. And then slowly, then I'll watch TV and I'll start editing the photos on my phone and throw it in the auction and just hit. And that's what I've been doing. And I sold, I had to mail out 7 things today. And over the past couple weeks, I sold a few things. You know, I'm trying.
Yeah, the problem I'm having right now is I said to myself a couple of years ago, my collection has got so large and there's no way I could carry each. There's knives in it I haven't carried yet, and that's not to brag. And so I have a bunch here in front of me that I have carried. They've lost the value because I carried them, maybe if you want to look at it that way. But I said, even if I carried, what I used to do was have a tin that my mom had for recipe cards, and I used to fill the tin up, and when I'd go to work, if I wasn't working on an article, I'd reach into the tin, pull one out, carry it one night, put it on the shelf next to the tin, and when I was done, I'd scoop them all up, put them back in the tin, shake it up a little bit, go random again. But I said, even then, that's a hell of a lot of knives, and I could use the money for other shit. You know, hair surgery.
Well, here's a good question for you, Abe, since you did a lot of, you've written a lot of reviews as I have. What were the big surprises? What knives did you think that you weren't going to like that you ended up really, really liking, or even the other way around? What were you really looking forward to that worked out to be quite a letdown?
Off the top of my head, I can't pick something, but I'll tell you one of the bigger surprises was, and I think I've shown it to you guys before, and it's sitting 5 feet away from me on where I normally keep a lot of my EDCs. It was a Buck Vantage. The Buck Vantage they had, unfortunately, it's not a good situation, and I'm going to acknowledge that. They used the Mike Mayo blade, and I've always loved that blade. Nice, like a good drop point. I love a good hollow ground knife. And they used the Mike Mayo blade. It was a damn good blade. And they put it on the Vantage handle. And I got that thing, and it was just a simple, straightforward, like all the fancy, heavy, like 5,000 pound stainless steel liner locks or frame locks and stuff like that. I've reviewed them all. But that was so simple, I fell in love with it. And I ended up started collecting every version of that they ever made.
They came out with a big version.
Huh?
They just came out with a 3.75-inch version. If they didn't just come out with it, I just saw them selling it. I couldn't believe it. I had to look it up 4 different ways. And it was cheap. Who had it on sale? Man,
I know right now they do the steel and the handle material. So mine, believe it or not, which is kind of funky, I've carried one for years, and the handle on it matches the wood on my new shotgun.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's just weird. It's a black and white laminate with buffalo horn type color swirls in it. But there's one out now they have where it's black nylon with a wine colored wood in the middle. And
I haven't seen that one yet.
And I'm like, don't buy it, Abe. I mean, you're trying to sell shit off. I like this knife so much. I have had good friends of mine say, I want to buy, you're selling your collection off. Can I buy one off of you? And I said, do you want one of my favorite knives? And they go, yeah. And I sell them one of my Vantages. It's just so simple. It's a kiss knife. Keep it simple, stupid. It's a flipper. It works great. It's got a simple blade to it. It's not like this steel is made out of condor jizz or whatever it is that they're making. I know that's probably going to have to edit out, but it was simple. It was simple. They had some S30V knives. They had some versions because at the time they were using McBossy heat treat. They had some versions where you got that and it had the flame on it. But yeah, that's in short, that knife. I love that knife. I really didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I didn't figure I'd hate it, but I didn't figure I'd fall in love with it.
There's one thing I don't like about Vantages. They're just a little bit too small for my hands, man. I need 3.5, 4-inch blades or a big handle. My hands are really big.
They match the Griptilian size. I find they're just a little smaller than the Griptilian.
A little bit thinner too, right?
Yeah, they're a little thinner, little trimmer. Except for that new composite handle one I told you about. I think it's got a little bit more girth to it. And something just struck. So here's a knife that I'll never see. I've got this one. It's not this knife. But if you look at that handle, that's a Buck knife. It is a Terzola design. They put a Terzola flipper on it, but Terzola has nothing to do with this design. And they just gave it an ordinary, it's got beautiful action to it. It's got to be on ball bearing. It's just gorgeous. Like I hardly touch it and almost open it, but I can do that and open it. It's a gorgeous action. I'm not crazy about the blade compared to, but I'll never own a Terzola knife. If somehow I was able to manage it, but I've always wanted. I actually met Bob. I got all geeky because he's one of my childhood designers that I always followed, and so he was designing for Columbia River the same time I was, and he's Italian.
Oh.
I bring this up for one main reason, right? So we're sitting there like the geek I am, and I meet him, and I go to shake his hand. We shake hands, and I said, I followed you for such a long time, and you're one of my childhood knife heroes. I said, would you mind if we hugged? And he said, sure, why not? I'm Italian, and we hugged. So,
how can you go?
But he's a nice guy, really nice guy, super nice guy, and I think
that's awesome.
You know, he's. But
that is awesome.
If I could ever get original, I don't know how many kidneys I'd have to sell. I might have to grow a third one. Since we've got that new genetic meat growing thing.
Stuff's happening, man. Stuff's happening. You might be able to grow one.
Well, I tell you what, if you ever wheel and deal one, you come and talk to me first.
I had a couple of, I only had like the Benchmade or the Microtac, I never had I never had a real Zola either. I remember playing with one that was crooked or something. Someone did something to it, not him, of course. But yeah, man, he's awesome. Nice guy, nice knives, man. Mayo too. Well, you mentioned Mayo. That Buck Mayo, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
Or
I've
a
got
real
one of those. I've got a
I
Buck
love
Mayo.
those. Frame lock?
It's got the blade, but the handle kind of had a polka dot pattern to it, and
Yeah.
that kind of turned me off. I
Oh,
thought
it had
Buck
the
could have.
holes. Did it have the holes in the handle?
Yeah, but polka dot, like it was like I call it polka dot. You know, holes.
Oh,
It
that's
was
right.
multiple
Yeah.
holes. Yeah, it was too much. I think but it was the blade was gorgeous, and I had to have
Yeah.
it just because of the blade.
I like those blades too.
But and I know, and I'm just saying this either. I know because Grant was so tight with
I know. He used to be.
Vanger. Well, Vanger. He used to be really tight with Vanger. Rob Pietra, if I'm saying his last name right. You got some of those limited edition Vangers everybody looks for.
It's Dennis Peritra.
Oh, that's it. Dennis Pietra. I'm lousy with names, dude. I suck at them. Sometimes
That's okay.
So I've told you. I forgot my wife's name one time when I was introducing her. I just drew a blank.
blame
Did
you.
I ever get in trouble?
You drew a blank. You were.
Dennis Pietra. So he was a good guy. I really liked
He
dealing
was a
with
great
him.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, he was. I remember one SHOT Show. I felt so bad, and I didn't say. It wasn't my fault. I didn't say anything. I don't know how it happened, but the PR person that was supposed to meet with me said the Super Bowl's on. It was in Florida, and she said, "Can we reschedule?"
2008.
Huh?
2008, I remember that one.
Okay, yeah. So she asked to reschedule my visit, and he jumped down her throat over that. He said that was hugely, and then he ended up taking. He was this kind of guy. He was that kind of business guy. He ended up taking my PR visit to see the new releases personally because he felt so bad that she did that.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy he was. He was, yeah. And still is. He's working, he was
Like
with,
proper.
he was with Nanook Cases for a little while, and now he's with another company that manufactures like those rugged outdoor cases. It's not B&W, it's not Pelican, it's not Nanook, and I can't remember who it is.
Hard dig. That's the
Might
other.
be.
I've got hard dig cases here.
County Com.
No, it's not.
Man,
It's not County Com.
Oh, is it the?
Speaking of cases, every time I'm in Goodwill, every case I see, I'm like, Abe would like that one. I'm like turning to Abe's girl. I mean, every camera case, everything. I almost started buying them for you. Then I said, Chris, don't buy them. You're too cheap to ship them.
Was it that case that?
SKB Cases out of New
Okay,
York.
wrong one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you remember Emerson used to tout which one did he used to tout all the time? The one with the ocean symbol on it. What was that?
Who did that?
Emerson. If you went to his booth at a SHOT Show or at Played, all his cases were this company. And they were famous for, like water. Like their name was associated with the waterproofing side of it.
I don't know. I don't recall that. Let me just do a quick Google here.
It wasn't Nanook. Nanook is like new compared to these guys.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting really highly priced. I think Pelican cases. That's it.
Oh, Pelican, yeah. I got one
Yeah.
right here. I got a little mini waterproof one right over there.
Apparently he was right next to the factory where he lived, or the factory outlet, and he would get all the Pelican cases. And he said for the money that he was getting for, they were a steal. I mean, I couldn't afford them at the time. I ended up Hardig, which was I think a division of Blackhawk. Like they were sold out of at least the Blackhawk magazine. Maybe I'm thinking. I think at that time when they broke onto the market, their stuff is still excellent quality, but they sold them dirt cheap. And actually, that's where I keep part of my knife collection. I've got 4 Hardig cases, of which one of them houses all my specialty Swiss Army knives, and the rest house all the other higher end, like Benchmates and stuff like that.
Yeah, several of my drones are in Pelican cases, Nanook cases, B&W cases, and even a great place to get that kind of case is, believe it or not, a Princess Auto. Usually has cases very similar to the Pelican cases on sale for I just bought one not too long ago, was a good size, and I think it was $33 or something. It would have been over $100 as a Pelican case or something. But
yeah, I bought
Princess
some of
Auto
their
is a
ammo
great
cases.
place to find all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
I've got a couple of their ammo cases as well.
They had an excellent deal one year where it was like a 2-handed ammo case, and they filled it with smaller variety of ammo cases, and you bought
Nice.
$34 on sale. You got the big case. I think 4 other cases inside of it. for 34 bucks. I was like, Jesus, Murphy, which slave labor kid built this? Yeah.
Well, generally, if Princess Auto has it, it's overstock, which means that, whatever company that is made their money somewhere else, and this is just stock that they're liquidating.
I was going to ask, does any one of you keep your stuff on display, or is it all in storage? My EDCs lay out on countertops, but as far as your really nice stuff, do you got like special display set up for them, or are they just locked away?
I used to, but, I've moved in the last 10 years probably 4 times. And
Really?
So my display cases, I've got a big glass case in the garage that I'm probably just going to get rid of, because as much as I enjoy having my stuff on display, it's just not, I don't have a suitable place for it right now. I don't have enough space for all the other stuff that I do have that needs to be out. I don't have enough space for, to be displaying my collection at this point. Maybe someday I'll, I don't know, buy a building and open up the Swiss Army Knife and Multi-Tool Museum.
How about you, Inky? How do you
Yeah.
Do you have any display, or are they just all stored away in cases?
I got some stuff out, a couple, mostly bigger things.
Yeah.
Like, I got a sword out, a big Damascus fixed blade in my office over there.
Nice.
I got a couple things hanging on the wall, like a dagger. It's German, but it's not like World War II. I got another thing that looks like a creature, but it's a knife. You pull it apart.
Cool.
That's kind of just there, just in case no one knows what it is. I got toolboxes, dressers. I use a dresser for a lot of my production stuff in the boxes. I got dresser drawers, and they're
Cool.
standing up, and I could, go through them. It's like filed almost. I got a rolling thing. I got a big ball bearing box. I got my Randalls and fixed blades in the big ball bearing box. And then I got a storeroom with everything else on shelves in the box, more modern stuff, and some old stuff there.
That's pretty cool.
And I got other stuff too, but I can't really.
You got a variety. Sounds like you got a variety.
He can't
Well, yeah,
divulge
just
the
get the
location or he'd have to kill us.
I was just getting the message. Yeah, no, I got some stuff, I don't have everything full, but I separate them like that, It's not like I'm that full. And it's not like I ate cake and a whole pizza. I just had pizza.
Good to know.
Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen. I'm going to say that's going to bring us to the end of yet another episode here on EDC TV. Have you guys got any parting thoughts you'd like to share before we shut this down?
No, I just, I think it's pretty common idea that people collect what's important to them, and maybe at one point in time, like Inky's mentioned, I've mentioned that you never know what ends up being important to you. Because I really wish I would have taken better care of my very first 5 knives, and I think I only have about 2 of them left.
Yeah, I don't have any of mine. I would say, like Christopher Walken once said on a talk show, he once said, eat tangerines. So that's my advice today.
Okay, good enough. Well, gentlemen, it's been a fantastic evening and a great discussion yet again. I appreciate your time, and I guess we'll see you all here again next week. In the meantime, if you have any thoughts or comments, feel free to share them over at forum.multitool.org. We're always happy to hear what you have to say, even if it is just making fun of us. Also, sacwiki.com, great resource for all of your Swiss Army knife needs. Make sure to like and follow and share our posts, because that's how we're going to get the word out on this podcast.
I'd like to throw in, if you've got anything that you think you'd like to hear our opinion on, or a topic you'd like us to discuss, feel free to post that on the multitool.org thread, and we'll read through that and say, okay, you know what, they want us to talk about, and we'll hit it. It'll make it into the discussion.
If there's anything that you think that you want to force Abe to buy, feel free to throw it in on our forum at forum.multitool.org.
Just
Serious, guys, I'm being serious. You think it's funny? I'm struggling to pay rent here. You got to stop doing that shit. I'm like, today I had to. I'm a 57-year-old man. I was raking leaves. I was doing a 9-year-old kid's job today to make money. So I don't care. I love the shit anyways. I live for it. I'm supposed to be selling it off, and I'm buying more of it. And I hate you, Grant.
It's recycling, Abe.
You know the reason you were raking leaves, right? It's because it's part of your job as a, what do you call that?
Yeah. Anyways,
Part
I'll
of
tell
your
you, though.
job as
the first time in my life I've ever been paid
No, I'm really
$40 an hour to
thirsty,
rake
please.
leaves. It's the very first
Okay.
time in my life I've been paid because of the fact that I'm a custodial type.
Thank you very much, everybody. We enjoy doing this for you. I hope you enjoyed as much as we do. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.